Hannah's had a seizure.
Hi Hannah, so we've watched your choreography. We're just going to ask a few questions about how you've made that. The first one being, how has your choreographic process been affected through the exploration of selected creative practitioners?
So my initial inspiration was from the Rossas dance Rossas by Anne-Theresa de Kersmaker. This is because of the way she used repetition, and it's quite an intriguing style. She used gestures and repetition throughout the whole of the piece, and it makes you wonder like why she keeps repeating that motif, why she keeps using them same gestures, so it draws attention to the audience. So I thought that worked well in mine, as in a factory it's just being repeated the same thing day in, day out. So having the repetition worked well with mine. Towards more into the process, I looked more into deviate with the use of physical theatre. I used chairs and more robotic and stylistic gestures instead of just technical dance moves. This helped me more to like portray the machinery rather than just a character on stage. So it portrayed like the machines and the way the factory works day in, day out.
Grant, just lost them. Found it. Worth. So can you articulate how your creative process has adapted throughout the whole of your rehearsal period?
I think the biggest change was the thought process. So at the beginning I just wanted the workers to just be, the whole scene to just be workers and their day in the life. However, as I started to like progress the piece more, I decided to make it more about the machines and the way the mechanical worked and how much the machines get used by all the workers and how they work day in, day out. I used the same two motifs throughout the whole piece, and I just kept on developing them, using that different way, different body types, and different, making them bigger or making them smaller, using the floor more. So it just shows that it was the same thing happening day in, day out. I used the same motif, but it was just made bigger to show how much they're getting used.
What were the obstacles that you challenged, that faced you while you were creating your piece?
The main obstacle was figuring out the timing, as the piece was very much more about the counts rather than just the dance style. So as a dancer I'm used to just remembering my own counts and remembering my steps, whereas as a choreographer I had to remember all three of the timings, and everyone had different timings, different syncopations, different patterns, so it was hard to remember them to direct them in the right way. To overcome this, I made sure every lesson we noted down who came in at what timing and which movement was on which timing, and then I had to drill that into my brain and into their brain.
Last question. What aspects of your work would you change in the future, and why?
In the future I'd like to use more levels. I feel like it was all just one level the way I did it. I used the floor a little bit, but I'd like to use higher levels and use the negative space more, so maybe use the chair as a prop of a way of using the more higher negative space. I'd like to use different formations and make it more use the stage that I've got more. It'd also be good if I had like a bigger cast, because I feel like in a factory there's not just 3 people, there's hundreds of people, so having a bigger cast would make it more manic but still clean at the same time. It'll just show like portray more what I was trying